Hi there guys, how you all doing? My name is Tim and today we have got something a little bit different for what we've been doing Yu-Gi-Oh wise, but we've been doing this in Pokemon for a little while now. We have got some hot singles to go through today. I've been buying some cards off the old internet, and this is what I've picked up over the course of the last couple of weeks. Thought I'd go through what I've got and how, what decks I'm going to put them in and stuff like that. But I also wanted to spend a little bit of today talking through the Yu-Gi-Oh content that I'm going to be providing on the channel, because it's a little bit different to what other people are doing. I'm going to put the majority of the talk at the end of it, but what it boils down to is that my content is going to be a little bit slower than what other people provide, and that is because I simply don't have the sheer number of cards or the money to be buying lots of different cards for Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, whereas you've got other content creators out there that are able to provide a deck profile every day. Dark Arm Duelist, you're ruining it for everybody. He's really not, he's doing a fantastic job. I can't provide that sort of content, which is why, like Red Dragon Archfiend, I had deck profile, then key card guide, and then combo guide. It's like a more in-depth analysis into the decks that I'm providing, because if I was to try and do a deck every day, I'd be repeating the first deck after a week. I don't have enough cards. I've got like 7 decks, and even then a couple of those need some tweaking and improvements, which is going to be happening over the course of the next couple of months. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in depth at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But with that, let's get on to what I've been purchasing. Of course, during this month, we have had Rarity Collection 2 come out. I've not purchased myself a booster box or anything like that, so some of these cards are a direct result of Rarity Collection 2 being available to me to buy. So yeah, let's take a look at what I've got, and then I'll come back here afterwards and have a proper chat with you. All right then, let's take a look at these hot local singles that we've got going into our decks this month. So we're going to start off with a deck that I'm almost finished building now. It's going to be, I think I just kind of need a few staples and maybe a couple more cards in the extra deck now. But it is pretty much almost finished. I could probably finish it using cards from other decks. But yeah, it's almost finished now, and that is my Gate Guardian deck. I really like Gate Guardian as an archetype, and the new support came out. I was like, I need to build this deck, and I've been playing it on Master Duel, and it's so fun on Master Duel. So I got myself from Rarity Collection 3 copies of Fusion Deployment, really useful within Gate Guardian. I got myself 2 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma, and then 2 copies of Magician's Soul. So Prisma's not in Rarity Collection. I was kind of hoping it would be, and then it would come down to 99p. Magician's Souls was like a 20 quid card, and it's now come down to just being a few pounds. Fusion Deployment was always a cheap card anyway, but I was able to get the secret rares for it. So 2 copies of Magician's Souls. And then just for the extra deck of this one, we've got ourselves a Nightmare Phoenix and a Nightmare Cerberus as well. Just generic link monsters to kind of go into Gate Guardian. So yeah, really happy with those purchases. Rarity Collection 2's helped me out so much with that. Yeah, Magician's Souls, needing 2 of them. That was going to be £40 worth of purchases, and I think I spent like £7. And then I've also got in the orange sleeves, we've got ourselves a Grand Marju deck. I feel everybody has to have something like a Grand Marju deck at some point. It's rubbish. It's not very good, but it's fun when you can actually bring out a Grand Marju and you're asking, you're like, okay, let me just count how many cards that I've got banished. Oh, 16,000 attack. Okay, there we go. But I've just got a couple of generic link monsters. This is because there was like an offer on for Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus, whereas you bought multiple, you got multiple. I was like, well, I need 2 copies of them. I might as well pick them up. So we got Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus to go in there. Then we've got for my purple sleeves, which is my Memento deck, we've got a few bits and pieces for the extra deck in Mementos, which makes it pretty much complete, I think. Once these all go in, I need to check that it is kind of all the way there, or whether it still needs a little bit more work. But we got ourselves an Underworld Goddess of the closed world. Again, Rarity Collection 2 helping bring the price of this down. We got ourselves an IP Masquerena with the alternate art. Again, a lot cheaper because of Rarity Collection 2, which makes me very happy. Appaloosa Bow with a Goddess from Rarity Collection 2 as well. Really useful in mementos. And then Access Code Talker. This is the big one for Rarity Collection 2. This is what made me excited for Rarity Collection 2. I've never owned an Access Code Talker before because I don't tend to spend that much money on single cards. So Access Code was a little bit higher than what I would normally spend. So we got ourselves the Access Code Talker here, which I'll be buying more of most likely to just splash around my decks. And then moving on to the last deck that I'm going to be looking at today, the last deck that I've purchased for my Zombie World deck, which there will be a Zombie World deck profile going up next week for my Zombie World deck. We have Yukiana, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi, and we also have Yukiana, the Icicle Mayakashi. These are two cards that I'm just kind of trying out in Zombie World. I don't know whether they'll be easy to summon or not, or how much use they will actually get. But the Zombie World extra deck is kind of rammed. It's kind of full. So, yeah, there's something to try out, but I don't know whether I'll end up going back to something else. But these were pretty cheap anyway. So, and then we got ourselves Garura from Rarity Collection 2, another card that I was excited was going to be in Rarity Collection 2 because as a Super Poly target, and I use Super Polymerization in Zombie World, Garura is fantastic. I don't use Super Poly anywhere else currently, so Garura, I only needed the one copy of Garura for Zombie World. And then we got ourselves a relinquished anime because Link Karibo got itself banned, didn't it? It got itself banned, so I need to replace my generic Link ones with a generic Link one, and that is relinquished anime. Most expensive card that I bought this time because I was praying, I've been putting off buying it because I was praying that it was going to be in Rarity Collection 2. It's probably going to end up in Rarity Collection 3 if it doesn't get banned beforehand. Depends how much it gets splashed around, I suppose. But Relinquished Anime is a great card, and because it is that generic requirement of just needing one level 1 monster, it can go in multiple of my decks. So this is probably going to be moved around a little bit for future deck profiles. So that's everything that I've purchased, sort of padding out the extra deck of 4 different decks. And yeah, the next video that we will be doing, we'll be focusing on this Zombie World deck profile, and yeah, it's looking to be a good one. So let's go and have a quick chat about everything. So I wanted to talk to you all about sort of the upload schedule and things like that we're going to have. I thought I'd just tag it on to the end of this video because it makes things a little bit easier, I guess. Like, if you don't want to hear all of this, then you can cancel off now, sort of thing. But yeah, I thought I'd just let you know what's going on with the Yu-Gi-Oh content in this particular on this channel. So if you've been around, first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel, everybody who watched the Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. I just keep watching that number go up. I love it. It's fantastic. Thank you very much. For a small-time creator like myself, to get his first video going over 1,000 views, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And you know, those subscribers creeping up, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But it would be sensible, I suppose, and the best thing would be to try and capitalise on that by going, oh, more deck profiles, more deck profiles. That's the one that did me the views and stuff like that. But realistically, I can't do that. I don't have the amount of cards that I can just splash everywhere. I don't have like thousands of cards to be able to do deck profiles. Like, if somebody requested to me, Tim, could you do an Unchained deck profile? No, I don't own any of the cards. I just don't. That's because I've not been collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I normally buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards in this sort of what I need, I buy. And I don't tend to sort of buy booster boxes or anything like that. I have bought a few, and I have got some sort of stacks behind here of sort of, you know, various amounts of things, you know, stuff that I've got myself, oh, Link Karibo's there, stuff that I got myself in when I got the Crimson King structure deck, and then like the packs that I get from participating at locals and stuff like that. So I don't have the cards to be able to release so many deck profiles, even to the point of doing one a week. You'd be out of decks in 2 months' time, and I wouldn't have time to get more ready to continue that going. So, because I don't spend that much money on Yu-Gi-Oh either. So, because my money is spent mostly on Pokemon cards as my hobby, because Pokemon cards helps with my mental health. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh is something that I just play for a little bit of fun. So that's why I thought to spread the videos out a little bit, we'll continue down this current avenue of deck profile, key cards, and combos. And then maybe like in future we could perhaps take out that key cards combo so you've only got 2. And then sort of a miscellaneous episode as well of Yu-Gi-Oh content, like local singles or opening a booster box or something like that, because opening booster boxes is then going to help build my card collection, which will then hopefully help with being able to put forward decks for you. So that's the way that I'm going to be doing it. It's a bit of a shame because, like I say, you see those numbers go up on the view count on the Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile, and the comments and the likes and everything, and you think, oh, I need to capitalize on this. I need to release another deck profile now. I've got to stick to my plan, because otherwise you'll end up with no content, which will suck. So that's the idea behind it all. I don't get to compete at locals all that much. I'm not the best Yu-Gi-Oh player in the world. I will freely admit that I'm fine. I get by, 3-1 record at locals with a rogue deck at best is pretty good. And there was quite a few decks that were splashed around there that were like playing Tenpai Dragons and stuff like that. I've got a little bit of knowledge. I play quite a bit of Master Duel, but I'm not overly confident with Yu-Gi-Oh. What I'm providing is like, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh on a budget, almost, I guess, because I don't go out and spend money. I don't have an SP Little Knight, for example. It's too expensive. I've not bought Tenpai Dragon as a deck because, well, my friend has got it, but also I don't want to try and buy a Trident Dragon. I'd want to buy a Trident Dragon when if I created the deck, I'd be like, well, this is disappointing. I can't do the finishing 18,000 damage. So I'd want to make it the best that I could. So yeah, I want to be able to provide content to you. It's disappointing that content can't be on the level of other creators, where it's like, okay, you can get a deck profile every week or something like that. But I figured if I go a little bit more in depth with these things, fully research my combos and things like that before putting a video out there to you. It's not a beginner's guide to Yu-Gi-Oh, but it is a, look, these are some fairly cheap decks that you could get, and here's how you can use them. And then you can work from there. I hope that sort of the combo guide that I produced with Red Dragon Archfiend was of a good quality. I thought that it was. I thought that I went through the combos pretty well and explained them pretty good. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of going from here. We're always going to be going along the lines of deck profile, key cards, and then combos. And then if like a deck gets updated, or one of my decks gets updated, then I'll throw in a redoing of the deck profile. I won't necessarily do a combo guide. I'll throw in a redoing of the deck profile. So for example, in a couple of weeks time, probably after the cycle, the Zombie World stuff goes out, we will revisit the Red Dragon Archfiend, because Red Lotus King is coming out. Red Lotus King Flame Crime is coming out, which is really useful in Red Dragon Archfiend deck. So we'll revisit that deck. We won't do the combo guide and we won't do the key card guide, but you'll see a couple of changes splashed throughout. When Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity gets banned, we'll redo the Red Dragon Archfiend deck, because highly likely the bestials will get taken out of the deck and be replaced by something else. So yeah, we'll kind of see what we're feeling, but I'm so proud of the support that I've had for the deck profile. I hope that you liked it and that you like the content on the channel. Please do consider subscribing down below and like the video. And yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Obviously, in an ideal world, we get to the point where YouTube pays me a little bit of money, and then that little bit of money goes into being able to improve my collections, because I just want to put it straight back into YouTube. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yu-Gi-Oh content not going anywhere. We're continuing with it. We're continuing with what we're doing, and this way, these 7 decks that I've got, they're spread out over sort of 6 or 7 months, rather than 6 or 7 weeks or 6 or 7 days. And that way I've got time to fully complete them as we go, get new ones. My next one's looking, I want really like the look of Light and Darkness Dragon. And also I'd like to point out, I don't do meta decks. I don't. I was going to do Trident Dragon. I was going to do Tempire Dragons, because I tend to just get a deck because I think they look cool. Mementos, the cards for Mementos look amazing, so I was like, I'm going to buy them. As soon as they were announced, I was like, they look cool, I'm going to buy them. I got a dinosaur deck. Dinosaurs are cool. A Zombie World deck, because zombies are cool, and my mate used to beat me with Zombie World back in the day when the first structure deck came out, and I was like, well, if he used to be able to beat me with it, it must be good. No, I was bad. But but yeah, I don't do meta decks. I don't have any decks which are currently sort of meta relevant. So that's why they're a little bit cheaper and a little bit less expensive and more budget options. So, and I don't think we could do any better as budget than sort of now, with the rarity collections coming out and making some of those cards a lot cheaper. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be providing. So I hope that you stick around. I hope that you enjoy the content that I put out on the channel. If you do, then please do subscribe down below, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what your favourite card is out of the ones that I picked up. I really want to try out these Yuki-Yone Mayakashi cards. I think they're really cool. So I'm looking forward to being able to get them in the deck and get them tested. And we'll see where we go from there. Thank you very much, everybody who has watched. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.